I am the voice of the voiceless. I am the voice of those students who are uneducated, miseducated, or simply not given the tools to be successful in society today. I am the voice of those students who languish in special ed classes, remedial programs, alternative classes, or other structures that marginalize and demoralize their essence. I am the voice of students whose spirit is squashed by uncaring adults, low expectations and pervasive disregard in inner city schools throughout America. I am their voice, and this is their story. Stop. You don't know me. You only make money off me. Yea, though I walk through the valley of public schools, I shall fear no evil, for I am black, and my God is with me. I sit in classes, raise my hand, draw my pictures, want to read my story, and teacher, you don't call on me. Math teacher, you have calculators I never see. Music teacher, you give out instruments and you bypass me. Art teachers, your closets are full of papers, paints, and clay you think are too good for me. Principal, you create cracks to push me in, breed academic gaps and try to limit me. What is your problem, and whose agenda do you follow? I am strong, powerful, and smart, and I'm gonna do me. I read the books you hide, understand the knowledge you deny, and recognize today is the day we will not be shy. We will take this information and fly. Today we are revolving, slowly evolving, and the lies are dissolving. You see, the revolution was televised when the levees broke and America choked. Langston Hughes wrote The Ways of White Folks, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad spoke, told us, wake up, black folks. This is the final call.
My mom was a school teacher, so I learned early the value of education, history, knowing your people, knowing your struggle. See, we was revolutionaries, taught to fight. I mean, when you're Muslim and going to school in 2nd grade looking like you about to sell some bean pies, you better learn how to stand out some way.
Growing up in Englewood was kind of a unique experience. You know, I got to deal with, or we all got to deal with a lot of different spectrums of life all at once that, you know, growing up in another place we might not been able to experience. But, you know, it's like a close-knit community. Like, everybody mostly knows everybody, if not from the streets, from school, you know. But it was fun, I guess. We got to deal with a lot of different things that a lot of other black communities didn't get to deal with because there was so much other things going on that we were free of, you know what I mean, or blessed to be free of, the other guys from other places didn't get to deal with. So I think people from here are more like of a well-rounded bunch of people that can deal with a lot of different things. My one quarrel that I had with growing up in Englewood is I never really had too many white experiences. Numerous things growing up in Englewood that were just weird. Like I remember when they had the protests when they were trying to integrate the schools. Because mind you, going to high school, I had one white kid in my grade, Cormac, one white kid. So the whole plan was they were trying to integrate the schools back together and have all the white kids. Because believe it or not, there's a lot of white people in Englewood. A lot of people don't know this, like my peers especially. But it's a lot of white people in Englewood that don't go to the high school or don't go to the middle school or start out with us in kindergarten and leave in 3rd grade and get shipped off to some public school. So the whole plan, I guess, was to integrate all of because it's illegal, really. Technically, everything is supposed to be integrated in America nowadays. But it wasn't here, though. It was just us, or whatever. So they were trying to integrate the schools back together. We'd go to school, it would be hundreds of white parents with picket signs and everything else, like it was the 60s, like it was Martin Luther King with signs up saying how they don't want their kids going to school with us. We want our kids over here, like, it's crazy. that's just one aspect of it where it was like weird. Like it's like I was saying, the '60s. I feel like a lot of people, especially people around us, like Teaneck or say Hackensack, all these different towns around us, they were all prepared a lot better than we were. So for one, it was a horrible school system. Like, it was barely any learning going on. Anybody could pass, and if you didn't pass, you go to summer school, you pass just from going to summer school. So there was no real push for anybody to do anything on their own. And a lot of, and we had a lot of smart people in our school, but they weren't pushed. This was their inner drive to be good students. It wasn't the pushing of the teachers or the faculty or anything like that. It was more geared, it seemed like Dwight Moore was more geared like a college. Like, come to class if you want to. Don't come to class if you want to. We don't care, it's up to you, your future. When it should be more based on, we're kids here, and if we don't gotta go to class, we're not gonna go to class. If we don't wanna do the work, we're not gonna do the work. If we don't wanna do homework, we're not gonna do homework.
This is a message from an invisible student. Since you ignore me, I want to make sure you see me. So I engage you in a game of regular stimulation. I test all your senses. I become the noise in your ear and the aggravation you must endure, the sight in your eye and the pain in your side, the class clown, the troublemaker, the disruptor and constant interrupter. Teacher, do you see me now? Just acknowledge me. Don't try to squash me. Hear my voice. Listen to my story. See me. Entering the oak-paneled room, reeking of tradition and order, she sat on the long wooden bench. Her mind wandered back in time as 4 young, energetic kids played in leaves, had snowball fights, counted stars and caught lightning bugs, cheered at games, ran touchdowns, shot hoops, and bit by bit, year by year, grew up. Her mind was lost in a sea of memories, years of flashbacks, of mothering, teaching, guiding, struggling, and living life in America. Black, bold, and determined to fight for everybody's child, to do this thing right and show people how it should and could be done. Then a loud voice penetrated her ears. Will everyone please rise? The judge, draped in black, slowly emerged. His face lined with privilege, power, and disregard. And for the woman, time stood still. The side door jerked open. Sounds of shuffling feet and rattling chains resonated through the room. The men emerged, all under 30, dressed from head to toe in orange. DOC printed boldly on their back, led like dogs by stern-faced guards to whom this sad and intentional ritual was as familiar as breathing. Young, gifted, and trapped, the best and the brightest, smart, witty, analytical ones, business-minded, people persons, leaders, movers, and shakers, the ones who make it happen and keep it poppin', grooving to the wrong tune, marching to the beat of a different drummer, not knowing they are marching to the beat of he who is in power, the controller, the manipulator, the user, and the real abuser. He is playing the beat, and you, young brother, young sister, are dancing to his tune. Disillusioned by a system of work till you die, enticed by the illusion of doing your own thing, convinced by the rationale of not slaving for someone else, justified by the excuse, if not me, then who? Mesmerized by the allure of fast money, so you dive head on, full steam ahead to the trap. The modern-day slavery of bars and chains, you become the new economy that revitalizes decaying communities and jobless hills. You become the solution to poor folks from mining towns and desolate farms, young, gifted, and trapped. You create a paycheck for drivers of food vans who sell sandwiches, coffee, and chips across the street from prison guard towers, as church vans turn into transportation wagons to bring families from bus stops and train stations filled with baskets of food, toiletries, and stuff that greedy vulture guards seize as contraband and sell back to you for stamps, cash, and a piece of your soul. You restore hope to a people so vicious and evil. They depend on making a living on the back of others, even if they have to create, manipulate, and facilitate, just like those who came before them did. You rebuild their communities, and they need you to survive. Let me back up and say that again. You rebuild their communities, and they need you to survive. So unless you see the game and recognize and change the plan, you will remain young, gifted, and trapped.
In between, over and under bridges, through tunnels of transition, I found my voice. Sometimes silenced by my own permission, pitched off of rooftops of oppression, within boxes and boundaries imposed by eyes that weren't my own. In earth sparkling with tattered fabric, bits of broken glass, minerals and bones, I revealed the me that was shaped from cells and molecules of carbon. I exist and have existed always, knowingly and unknowingly. I've searched without to discover what was hidden inside of this shell. I have chosen to express myself this time. I create languages to sing my song, in harmony with the sunrise and sunsets of my moon swings.
One person can't really change it. That's the whole point here, that it should have been more mothers involved in it. So no, I don't think there's anything that one mother can do or one father can do to change a massive system that's been going on for as long as, I don't know. I don't think anything can be changed really with one person.